It's 5:47 in the evening. You're sitting in traffic. Your hands are gripping the steering wheel tighter than usual. Your mind is already racing ahead to tomorrow, that presentation you haven't finished, those emails sitting in your inbox, the to-do list that never gets shorter. You're buried in stress before you even walk through your front door. But while your mind is spinning about tomorrow, something far more important is happening inside your body right now. Something invisible, something silent, something that will completely determine how you look when you wake up tomorrow morning. Deep inside your abdomen, your fat cells are having a conversation. They are receiving signals this very second. Signals from their hormones, signals from their nervous system, signals from your internal biological clock that never stops running. And based on those signals, your fat cells are making one critical decision about tonight. One decision that changes everything. Will they release the stored energy they have been holding onto for weeks, maybe even months, maybe even years? Or will they multiply, expand, and lock away even more fat while you sleep, completely unaware of what is happening? You don't realize it yet, but in the next 90 minutes, you are going to make 3 simple choices. These choices will seem completely innocent. They will feel like nothing, like just another ordinary Tuesday evening at home. But these 3 choices will decide everything. They will decide whether you wake up tomorrow feeling lighter and more energized, or whether you wake up more inflamed, more bloated, and carrying more dangerous belly fat than you did this morning. Here is the truth, and I need you to stay with me because this is going to sound completely crazy.
Your body does not actually store fat during the day. It does not store fat when you are active and eating. Your body stores fat at night, while you are sleeping, while you think your body is quietly resting and recovering. The trigger for this nighttime fat storage is not your dinner itself. It is not even about the calories you ate. It is about what happens in the 2 hours after you finish your last meal of the evening. 2 hours. Most people obsess over their morning routines. They wake up at 5 in the morning before the sun rises, they hit the gym, they drink their protein shakes, they plan their breakfasts like scientists running a controlled experiment. And sure, all of that matters. Morning habits are real and they do contribute to your overall health every day. But they are only half of the story. Only half. And most people never hear about the other half. The other half is what actually determines whether your body burns belly fat overnight or permanently locks it away deep inside. That other half happens between 6 in the evening and midnight. This is the window nobody talks about publicly. It doesn't fit into motivational posts about crushing your morning. It doesn't sell gym memberships or protein supplements. But it is the window that controls everything about your body composition while you are sleeping peacefully in your bed. Let me tell you something that contradicts almost everything the fitness world has been telling you for the past decade. You can eat perfectly clean food from sunrise to sunset. You can track every single calorie in every single macro. You can work out every morning without missing a single session. You can do everything right according to every diet expert.
And you can still wake up carrying more body fat than you had yesterday because of one invisible evening pattern. One pattern you do not even recognize as a problem. One pattern that feels completely normal because everyone around you does it. This is not about willpower. This is not about eating less food or suffering through another restrictive diet program again. This is about something called chronobiology, the science of how your body's biological processes are connected to the time of day. Your body is running on an operating system that was programmed across 200,000 years of human evolution on this earth. For almost all of human history, until just about 100 years ago, people ate only during daylight hours naturally. When the sun went down, there was no food. There were no refrigerators, no drive-thrus, no late-night delivery apps. People fasted through the night not because of a diet plan, but simply because food was not available after dark. Your metabolism, your hormone production, your digestive system, every single biological process in your body is still programmed for that pattern. But now you are eating dinner at 8 or 9 at night, under bright artificial lights that flood every room. You are scrolling through your phone. Your mind is spinning with work stress. Your body thinks something dangerous is happening. Your ancient biology experiences this contradiction, and genuinely has no idea how to handle it. It was never designed for this. So it does the only thing it knows how to in order to protect you. It stores everything as fat. It goes into emergency survival mode and holds on to every calorie like it might be the last food you ever see.
What I am going to walk you through now are 5 biological signals that determine whether your body burns fat tonight. These are not tricks. These are not hacks from a blog post. These are real physiological processes happening inside your body. They are happening whether you know about them or not, whether you believe in them or not, every single night. Your liver has an internal clock. Scientists call it the hepatic oscillator, and it controls everything about how your liver functions. It controls how your liver processes every single nutrient you put into your body, based entirely on what time it is. Between 6 in the morning and 6 in the evening, your liver is running at full capacity. Everything is working perfectly. The enzymes that break down food are operating at maximum power. Your insulin sensitivity is at its absolute daily peak right now. Your body is efficiently turning everything you eat into usable energy that fuels your brain, your muscles, your entire physical system. But after 7 in the evening, your liver begins shutting down for the night. Enzyme production drops by 40% immediately. Your pancreas function decreases significantly. Your insulin sensitivity drops dramatically. Your body is preparing to enter repair mode, not digestion mode. What this means in real practical terms is something most people have never been told by any doctor or nutritionist ever. The exact same meal, the exact same plate of food with the exact same calories creates completely different results in your body. Eat that plate at 6 in the evening and your body processes it efficiently. Eat it at 9 and everything changes. There was a study done at the Salk Institute in 2019. They tracked 2 groups of people eating identical calories every day. The first group ate all their food between 8 in the morning and 6 in the evening. Early window, done by 6. The second group ate between noon and 10 at night. Same total calories, same exact foods, same nutrients in every meal. The only difference between these 2 groups was the timing of when they put food into their bodies each day. After 12 weeks, the first group lost an average of 8.6 pounds of visceral fat around their organs. Visceral fat. That is the dangerous fat deep inside your abdomen that wraps around your liver, your kidneys, your heart. The second group lost nothing. Some people in that group actually gained weight despite eating the exact same number of calories daily. This happened because their livers were trying to process food during the hours when the liver is supposed to be repairing itself. Not digesting, not processing, repairing. And when you force your liver to digest during repair hours, everything goes wrong inside you. The solution here is simpler than you might expect, but it does require being very precise about one specific daily habit. Your last bite of food needs to happen no later than 7 in the evening. Not when you sit down to eat, not when you finish cooking, your final bite, when you put your fork down for the absolute last time that day. This creates at least a 12-hour overnight fast before you eat your first meal the following morning at breakfast time. During this fasting window, here is exactly what is happening inside your body while you sleep in the dark and quiet. At hour 8 of fasting, your insulin levels drop back down to their natural baseline. Your blood sugar stabilizes completely.
At hour 10, growth hormone begins to rise. This is your body's most powerful natural fat-burning hormone starting to work. At hour 12, your body shifts into a fat-burning state called ketosis. It starts using stored fat as its primary fuel. You are literally reprogramming your entire metabolism while you sleep, but only if you stop eating early enough to allow it. Here is something that most doctors never take the time to actually explain to their patients during a regular office visit. Your insulin sensitivity follows a very specific pattern throughout the course of every single day. It is not random at all. You are most insulin sensitive in the morning when you first wake up. You are least sensitive at night before bed. This daily pattern is controlled by a protein called BMAL1 that lives in your pancreas. It peaks in the morning hours. It crashes in the evening hours, every single day, without exception, regardless of what you eat or how much you exercise. The real-world impact of this is something that should be taught in every school and printed on every food package everywhere. The same 50 grams of carbohydrates from rice or bread will cause a 40% higher insulin spike at 8 at night. 40% higher compared to eating those same 50 grams of carbohydrates at 8 in the morning. Same food, completely different response. Here is why the timing of your carbohydrates is so absolutely critical to whether you burn fat or store it tonight. Insulin is the master fat storage hormone in your entire body. When insulin is high, fat burning stops completely, full stop. An enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase gets completely switched off when insulin is elevated in your bloodstream. This enzyme is essential.
It is the enzyme responsible for breaking down stored fat and releasing it into your bloodstream to be burned for energy. Without this enzyme working properly, your fat cells are locked shut, sealed tight, completely inaccessible no matter what else you do. You could be in a genuine calorie deficit. You could be actually hungry. Your body will still refuse to touch stored fat because insulin has the final say over everything. Insulin is the gatekeeper, and at night, your insulin spikes higher and faster. But there is something even worse that happens when you eat carbohydrates in the evening that almost nobody talks about publicly. Evening carbohydrates block growth hormone release during your sleep. Growth hormone is your body's single most powerful fat-burning hormone. It peaks during deep sleep, specifically during the first 90 minutes after you fall asleep. That first deep sleep wave matters enormously. But growth hormone and insulin work in direct opposition to each other. When one goes up, the other comes crashing down. If you eat carbohydrates at night, insulin stays elevated for 3 to 4 hours after your meal is completely finished digesting. This blocks your first wave of growth hormone during sleep. You miss the most powerful fat-burning window of the entire night. After 4 in the afternoon, you need to limit carbohydrates to non-starchy vegetables only. No greens, no fruit after this time. No starchy vegetables like potatoes or sweet potatoes either. These foods are excellent during the day, but in the evening, they hurt you. Your evening meal should be built around high-quality protein and vegetables that grow above the ground. That combination is your friend. Think wild-caught salmon with asparagus and a fresh salad dressed in olive oil. Think grass-fed beef with sautéed spinach. Think roasted Brussels sprouts alongside chicken thighs seasoned simply with herbs and salt. These meals are satisfying, nourishing, and deeply effective. You are giving your body everything it needs without triggering the insulin response that locks your fat cells tight for the night. Most people finish their dinner and immediately enter what I call digital stress mode. They collapse onto the couch feeling exhausted. They open their laptop, they start checking work emails, they watch the evening news, they scroll endlessly through their social media feeds. Their meal is sitting in their stomach trying to be digested, but their nervous system is in complete fight or flight mode. This creates a biological disaster inside your body, one that most people never connect to their inability to lose stubborn belly fat. Digestion is a relaxed process. It requires your vagus nerve to be activated. This triggers what scientists call rest and digest mode. Blood flow needs to move towards your digestive organs. Your heart rate needs to slow down. Cortisol needs to drop significantly. But when you are stressed, even just sitting still on a comfortable couch, your sympathetic nervous system completely takes over immediately. Blood flow gets redirected away from your digestive system. It moves towards your muscles in your brain to prepare you to fight. Your gut slows down dramatically. Food sits in your stomach fermenting instead of moving efficiently through your digestive system as it should. This creates 3 major problems that silently destroy your metabolism every single night without you ever realizing what is happening inside you. First, incomplete digestion leads to bacterial waste products leaking into your bloodstream. This triggers widespread inflammation throughout your entire body. Second, elevated cortisol blocks insulin from working properly. This causes blood sugar crashes and those intense late-night cravings you cannot resist. Third, poor digestion means you wake up bloated and puffy with inflammatory chemicals circulating through your system from the night before. All of this signals to your body that you are in danger, and your body's response to danger is always identical. Store fat, protect your energy reserves, do not burn anything, hold on to everything, survive the threat you think is coming. The Japanese have a concept called hara hachi bu. It means eating until you are 80% full, not completely stuffed. But they also have another deeply ingrained cultural practice that the Western world has almost completely abandoned in the modern age. They walk after every single meal. Not a power walk, not exercise, just a gentle, comfortable stroll through their neighborhood outside.
Within 5 minutes of finishing your dinner tonight, I want you to go outside and walk for 15 to 20 minutes. No music blasting in your ears, no podcast playing through your earphones, no phone in your hand, just you and your breath. Just the sound of your own footsteps and the feeling of moving through the open air outside your front door tonight. This single, simple practice does 4 powerful things simultaneously that no supplement, pill, or protein shake can ever replicate or replace. It activates your relaxed nervous system through the rhythmic movement of walking. Your vagus nerve turns on. Digestion begins working properly. It helps your muscles pull sugar directly from your blood without requiring insulin to do it. Blood sugar drops naturally and gently. It stimulates your intestines to move food through your digestive system at the proper pace and in the proper direction, always. And it lowers stress hormones through the visual sensation of physically moving through 3-dimensional space under an open sky above you. When you return home after this walk, you are in a completely different physiological state than when you left your front door. Digestion is working, stress hormones are falling, your nervous system has shifted into rest mode, fat burning is preparing to begin. This is the signal that separates people who effortlessly maintain lean bodies from people who struggle their entire lives with belly fat. Your body produces a hormone called melatonin. Everyone knows that melatonin helps you fall asleep at night. That part is common knowledge. But almost nobody knows that melatonin receptors are located inside your pancreas, inside the exact cells that are responsible for producing insulin. When melatonin rises at night as it is supposed to, it tells your pancreas to shut down insulin production for the evening. It is signaling that you have entered the fasting state, that it is time to switch fuel sources, time to burn fat. But here is the catastrophic problem that is silently happening inside tens of millions of people every single night across the entire world. Melatonin production is controlled by light exposure to your eyes, specifically blue light wavelengths between 450 and 480 nanometers. These specific wavelengths suppress melatonin production by up to 90%. 90%, almost completely shut it down with just light exposure. Your LED ceiling lights are doing this. Your television screen is doing this. Your phone screen is doing this every evening. Your laptop is doing this. Every device you stare at after sunset is telling your brain that it is still midday outside. Your brain believes it. Your pancreas keeps producing insulin. Your growth hormone never rises. Your body never enters fat-burning repair mode. A study from Northwestern University in 2017 showed something deeply alarming about what evening blue light exposure does to your body. Just 3 hours of evening blue light exposure decreased insulin sensitivity by 20% the very next morning after only one night. That is from a single night of screen use before bed. One night. 20% reduction in your insulin sensitivity by morning. Now imagine doing this every single night for an entire year, for 5 years, for the past decade of your life. You are potentially looking at serious insulin resistance, pre-diabetic blood sugar levels, and all of it from sitting in front of screens. After sunset, your home needs to become a darker, warmer environment that matches the natural light your biology was designed to expect. After 6:30 in the evening, turn off all overhead lights in your home. Switch to table lamps with warm amber bulbs only. At 7 in the evening, put your phone in another room, not on your nightstand, in another room entirely. Put it there. If you absolutely must use your phone after 7, activate night mode at maximum brightness and wear blue light blocking glasses over your eyes. At 8 in the evening, no television. Read a physical paper book under a warm lamp. Have a real face-to-face conversation. At 9 in the evening, turn off all lights in your home except dim amber night lights if you need them for safety navigation. What you are doing with this light protocol is allowing your melatonin to rise naturally for 3 to 4 hours before sleep. This creates a powerful overnight effect. Your body becomes dramatically more sensitive to insulin during your sleeping hours in the dark. When you wake up tomorrow morning after doing this correctly, your fasting insulin will be measurably lower than it was this morning. Your fasting blood sugar will be lower. Your body will already be in fat-burning mode before you even take your first bite. Your body temperature follows a precise daily rhythm, just like every one of your hormones. It is not random. It is biological design. Your body temperature peaks around 5 in the afternoon. It reaches its lowest point at approximately 3 in the morning while you sleep. This temperature drop is not accidental. It is absolutely essential for deep sleep, for growth hormone release, for metabolic repair to happen properly. But here is what most people have never been told. The size of this temperature drop directly affects how much fat burns overnight. Your body contains two completely different types of fat tissue. Most people only know about one of them. Let me tell you about both. White fat is the fat you want to lose. It is the fat that makes you feel heavy, soft, and uncomfortable in your clothes. Brown fat is a completely different type of tissue. It is metabolically active fat that actually burns white fat to generate body heat. When your sleeping environment is too warm, your brown fat stays completely dormant. It has no reason to activate and burn anything.
But when you sleep in a cool room between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, your body must work to maintain its core temperature. Your brown fat activates. It literally burns your stored white fat as fuel to keep your body temperature stable through the night. A study from the National Institutes of Health in 2014 demonstrated this effect clearly in a controlled research environment over 1 month. Sleeping at 66 degrees Fahrenheit for just 1 month increased brown fat activity by 40% in the study participants measured. It increased their metabolic rate by 10%. They burned an extra 100 to 120 calories every single night while sleeping. They changed nothing about their diet. They added no exercise. They simply slept in a cooler room for 30 consecutive nights total. At 9 in the evening, set your thermostat to 65 degrees. Sleep under a light sheet only. Keep your room completely dark. If you cannot control your room temperature, sleep with a window cracked open. Use a fan pointed at your upper body directly. You should feel slightly cool when you first climb into bed. Not shivering, not uncomfortable, but definitely not warm or cozy or stuffy. Within 20 minutes, your body adapts completely. You will fall into deeper sleep than you have experienced in a very long time. When you wake up in the morning, you will notice something immediately different about how you look and how you physically feel inside. You are not puffy. Your face looks sharper. Your stomach is noticeably flatter than it was when you went to bed last night. That is not water loss. That is not dehydration. That is actual stored body fat that was burned while you were sleeping peacefully.
Now let me show you exactly what this looks like as a complete protocol, starting from this very evening, tonight, right now. At 5:30 in the evening, you leave work or finish your workday. You decompress during your commute home in complete silence. No phone calls, no podcasts, no radio news, just silence, and the feeling of the transition between work mode and home mode. At 6 in the evening, you begin preparing dinner. Protein and vegetables, 0 refined carbohydrates. Simple, satisfying, perfectly aligned with your biology. At 6:45, you sit down and eat your meals slowly and mindfully. You finish your last bite by 7 at the absolute latest. At 6:50, immediately after finishing your last bite, you go outside and take a 20-minute walk alone in the fresh air. No distractions, no phone, just you moving through the air outside. Let your nervous system shift. Let your digestion begin properly working. At 7:15, you return home. You dim every light in your house immediately. You put your phone in another room on silent. At 7:30, you read a physical book. You stretch gently on the floor. You talk with your family without any screens present. You prepare for tomorrow calmly. You write down what you need to do. You close the loop on the day emotionally and mentally. At 9 in the evening, you take a warm shower. Set your bedroom temperature to 65 degrees. Turn off all lights completely. At 9:30, you are lying in your cool, dark room. By 10 o'clock, you are fully asleep. That is the complete protocol. No supplements needed, no expensive equipment required, no gym membership, no meal replacement shakes, no complicated tracking apps on your phone. Just strategic timing and biological alignment with the body you were actually born with and have been carrying your entire life. What happens when you follow this protocol for 30 consecutive days without skipping or making exceptions for convenience or social pressure? Your fasting insulin drops to healthy natural levels that your body has not seen in years, maybe in over a decade. Your insulin sensitivity increases dramatically. Your cells begin responding to insulin the way they were designed to respond from birth. Your growth hormone production normalizes. Your body begins releasing the deep fat stores it has been protecting for months and years. Your belly fat transforms from locked-away toxic storage into accessible fuel that your body willingly burns every night while you rest. You wake up one morning with visible definition in your midsection that you have not seen in years, maybe ever as an adult. Not because you did more exercise, not because you suffered through another restrictive diet, not because you took an expensive supplement daily, because you finally stopped interrupting the fat-burning process that your body was trying to complete every single night all along. This is not about restriction. This is not about suffering. This is about rhythm, about timing, about honoring your biological design completely. Your body wants to burn fat. It was designed to burn fat. It is actively trying to burn fat every single night for you. You have just been interrupting the process with late meals, bright screens, unmanaged stress, and sleeping environments that are far too warm. The moment you stop interrupting these natural processes, your biology takes over completely and begins doing exactly what it was built to do.
Fat loss becomes automatic, not because you are trying harder or suffering more, but because you are finally working with your design. Your belly fat is not stubborn. Your metabolism is not broken. Your body is not betraying you. You are simply on the wrong schedule. You are out of sync with the natural biological rhythm